Welcome! Today I'm going to be showing you how I use up my scraps to make a jelly roll rug. I am new to rug making, so bear with me, but it is so addicting and so much fun. Look at all the scraps that I have saved over the years. It is definitely time to use some of these scraps up. This is a curtain panel that I had made 10 years ago. I almost threw it away, and I'm so glad I didn't because today is the perfect time to use it up. I will just cut this into 2.5-inch strips. I'm going to try to go a little slower in this video than I do my other videos. Several people have commented that they wanted me to slow down. Somehow I got the angle wrong here, but you still get the idea of what I'm doing. You can buy the batting strips in a roll, and you can buy a jelly roll, so you wouldn't have to do any of this cutting. You could just get to the fun part. Then you just want to sew your strips together. I sewed as many as I could together all at once. That way you just had a big long chain ready to go. Then you want to trim it up. It'll be good to use some of these scraps up. Now with the batting, I'm cutting that at 2 inches. I want that to be smaller than the strips that I cut before. The strips are 2.5 inches and the batting's 2 inches. I've seen it done where it is cut at 2.25 for the batting, but I like to have a little extra playroom to not have the batting show. So it does take a little time if you're going to use up your scraps to get everything prepared. I was using my rotary cutter, but I felt like it was making my blade dull, so I decided to finish the rest with the scissors. You can buy that chalk at Amazon. I just love it. It comes in all these different colors. I've always enjoyed the cutting part of sewing. Here is how I start it. I fold the material over and then close it in to the middle. Each side comes into the middle and then you close it up again. I hope that made sense. Just rewind that if you need to actually see how I did that. But once you get it like that, pin it. And I sat and watched TV and did a whole bunch. I'm sure I would have bored you if I would have videoed all of that. I just ordered more pins or more clips so I can keep going. I have 3 buckets of them now. And then you just want to straight sew it down to start with, making fabric rope basically. This is so addicting. I can see where people make a lot of these. It is so much fun. It comes together so quick once you start sewing it together. This I did speed up. Just a straight stitch. Nothing too fancy here. I have a lot of this color fabric, so I'm using quite a bit at the beginning, and then I'm going to switch different colors. Just add some variety. This will have a part 2 because I just could not finish it all. It's good to have a table right behind you to catch everything. If it was hitting the floor, it would be hard on your needle, I would think. Now I'm switching to the white. There's not as much white. I just wanted to have a ring of white, and then I'm going to go into a floral. And that's what it looks like all done before you sew it together. I decided I was going to make this, I was going to start at 13 inches. What worked best for me was putting the seams to the outside. You want to put it on a zigzag stitch. I have the length at 4, and I will be using the widest zigzag stitch that I can use. Now to get it started, I'm sure there's plenty of better ways to do it than this, but this worked best for me. I just wanted to get it attached, and then I back up to finish it. Whatever gets the job done. There, once I hook it together, then I'll back up because it's a little bit bulky right there. I did end up breaking a needle right about now or somewhere in here. But it was an old needle, so that's probably why. I have a tendency to wait too long before I change needles. This is the fun part, watching this come together. The thing you want to be careful about, and I have done this, I don't know how many of these I've thrown away because I did this part wrong. But right here you want to make sure you don't pull tight. You want to make sure you actually give it extra material to make that curve. If you don't, it will curve up. And you will see I accidentally do that and have to tear it out. And I left that in there so you could see how it went wrong for me. And I'm actually pushing material, extra material up in there. I don't know what I was doing there. I could have edited that part out. I want to try this with a bunch of different colors. I think that would be so much fun. You could do a red, white, and blue. You could do, all the holidays. Once again, I'm pushing material in, just pushing in there to make sure there's plenty of material to go around that curve. And by doing that, it laid flat. I sound like a broken record, but that part is just so important when making these rugs. If anybody else has made rugs, I would love to know if you have any tips. I love trying something for the first time just to see if I can do it. This machine, I love this sewing machine. I feel like there's just nothing that it can't do. I should do a test sometime on this machine, like how many layers will it go through before it refuses. The great thing about these rugs is you can make them as big as you want. You could just keep going and going and going. This seemed a little bunchy right there, so I just sewed it down a little extra. I feel like I'm almost pleating it a little bit by pushing it in there. It gives it tiny little pleats. But whatever it takes to keep it from curling up. Right there is where I went around too fast. Look how easy that tore out though. That was nice. And then I just got a little overconfident there. Nice thing about a jelly roll is you would have all matching colors. You wouldn't have to think about color choices. All that would be made for you. I will put a link down in the description of everything that I'm using. I need a rug in front of my fireplace, and I think that's where this is going to go. I love this fabric. I've had this fabric for a while, and I love it when I can use it in a project. I have quilts made with this. There's just so many things. I must have bought the whole bolt when I bought it. This actually, for me, it's very relaxing just to sit there and, listen. I had a radio going, audiobook, and I was just listening to the book and doing this. That's one reason you don't hear the sewing machine. If I don't have music going, I'm listening to a book. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to have part 2 soon.